Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 19 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be rabbit, and today is going to be a shoulders and arms training routine. And the theme for today's workout is going to be assisted PNF stretching. So right now, I'm going to be demonstrating some more assisted PNF stretches. Now let's get started. And while we were resting, let's continue with our PNF demonstration in prone position. What we're going to do is move down to the knee, and we're going to be focusing on the knee extensors. With the knee extensors, there's a few different options depending on if we want to target the deep knee extensors or the superficial knee extensors. If we want to target the deep knee extensors, what we would do is just place one hand at the calcaneus, one hand at the distal tibia and fibula, and then we could just take them into knee flexion. By taking them into knee flexion, we're going to be targeting the deep knee extensors. And then what we would do is just instruct the patient, give them a couple taps, inhale, give me a kick. They would inhale and they would contract, and then instruct them, exhale, relax. On the exhale, take them deeper into the stretch. Now, with regard to this position right over here, if somebody has a really tight rectus femoris, what you're going to see happen is when we go into knee flexion, again, the rectus femoris, it has two attachment points. It does two actions. It does hip flexion and knee extension because it attaches at the anterior inferior iliac spine as well as the patella. So if they are really tight, what you're going to see is as you take them deep into knee flexion, they may start to end up going into hip flexion. That way they could put the rectus femoris under slack. If that is the case, what we could do to get a little bit more of a superficial stretch and more in the rectus femoris is we could apply a downward pressure onto the sacrum to make sure that the hip stays in extension. By staying in extension, we're going to be also targeting the rectus femoris at the proximal attachment. But first, let's go over the knee. With the knee, if we just take them into straight knee flexion, we're primarily going to be targeting the deep knee extensors. That's going to be the vastus intermedius, vastus medialis, and vastus lateralis. In this position, it's mostly going to be the vastus medialis. If we want to target more of the vastus intermedius, if we want to target more of the vastus medialis, which is the most medial, we would point the toes out. So toes are pointing outside of the knee, and then we would do the same thing. Inhale, contract, they would straighten out their leg. Exhale, relax, take them deeper into the stretch. If we wanted to target more of the lateral compartment of the knee, so the vastus lateralis, toes in. Now, we're going to be targeting more of the vastus lateralis, but same thing. Inhale, contract, but exhale, relax, take them deeper into the stretch. If you find that they go into knee flexion and their hip flexes, that means their rectus femoris is really tight. So when we're focusing just on the knee, we're focusing on the distal attachment of the rectus femoris, not the proximal. If we want to get a more global stretch on the rectus femoris and make it more of a superficial stretch, we're going to apply a downward pressure to maintain hip extension. And we can do that by either using our palm on the sacrum pressing down, or you could lean with your forearm, whatever is more comfortable. For me, I like to just use my hand. Depending on the patient, though, if they're really tight, then leaning with the forearm may be more beneficial, because if they're really tight, it's going to be a lot strenuous. But as long as you lock out your arm and just really lean into it, you're going to be fine. But anyway, we would do the same thing. So if we wanted to target a little bit more of the rectus femoris, if the rectus femoris is really tight, you apply a downward pressure, and then same thing. You would just ask them to inhale, contract. So they would inhale, give you a kick, exhale, relax, and then you take them deeper into it. When you are doing the deep stretch, you're going to find you're going to be able to get a lot deeper into it, hence the name, the deep stretch. When you are focusing a little bit more superficially, you're not going to be able to get the foot quite as far toward the glutes. So it's going to come down to what exactly does your patient need more? Do they need more of an emphasis on the deep knee flexors or the superficial knee extensors? So the deep knee extensors, just hand on the foot. The superficial knee extensors, sacrum and foot. But aside from the vastus intermedius, vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, and the rectus femoris, what else are we going to be stretching in this position? Well, we are also going to be targeting the tensor fasciae lati muscle, or the TFL, via its attachment to the iliotibial band. We're also going to be targeting the sartorius muscle when the hip is flexed. So when the hip is flexed, we're going to be getting a little bit of sartorius. When the hip is extended, not so much. And then we are also going to be getting some stretch in the articularis genu. If you recall, the articularis genu, it is considered your fifth quadricep muscle. It is located just above the patella. It helps to raise the knee, and it is great for anybody that has patellar bursitis. So for anybody with any issues with regard to the articularis genu, which is a lot of people that have knee pain, it is a very often overlooked muscle. Definitely these would be great stretches. And for the articularis genu, you would want more of a deeper stretch. So you would avoid placing the hand placement on the sacrum. But that is the stretch for the knee extensors, both the deep stretch and the superficial stretch. Our rest period is up. Time for the sixth set. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.